Okay, now on to book 4 of 9 for the Legacy of Force series. This one is Exile, first book with 2 characters on the cover, which is pretty cool. And Leia's got a blue lightsaber. I'm sure Leia's saber was pink originally. I don't know if I missed something, but yeah, I'm sure during the Yuuzhan Vong War books when she started being learned, and then in the Dark Journey books, she was like when she was like learning to be a full Jedi like apprentice. I'm sure she had a pink saber then. Now it's suddenly blue, but they mention her pulling out the saber, but never say what colour it is. So it could just be an error, or it might not be. But we'll see. So yeah, I actually did enjoy this one a lot more than the other two, right until the end, and I'll tell you why. So at my mistake, it was indeed book 3 when Jason decided his parents were like, they like betrayed the Galactic Alliance, and he decided to actually open fire on their ship, which was bloody nasty. He killed them with his newly christened unbuilt ship, Anakin Solo, which is absolutely terrible. And yeah, his blast killed the 2 Nogri bodyguards, which was terrible because they'd been around for years at this point. Many books they've been in, and yeah, he even had no issue doing it while Ben, his apprentice, was on board as well. Ben trying to find excuses. And yeah, Han and Leia like just have had enough. Seeing what sort of person Jason's turned. That he's not their son anymore. They've walked out on him for good. So this basically continues more of that, to the point that Jason is like now realizing he's going to have to sacrifice someone to like cement his turn to the dark side. But nope, he doesn't believe there is such a thing as a dark side. People like Palpatine disagree, but he just believes it's just the way you use the Force, whether it's a good or evil intention. Okay, so there's no dark side, but Jason intends to use Force for evil intention, so that's not the dark side. It's really bad, and yeah, I get it. There's no such thing as good or bad. It's just what your actions like makes sense. But either way, Jason's planning to do evil things. He now has to sacrifice somebody that he loves. And of course, at the end, it's his mum and dad. He decides the galaxy could do without them. He doesn't need them. He remembers how they basically ignored him growing up because they just basically gave him, put someone else in charge of him. He referring there to in the time not long after him and Jaina's birth, when they were sent to be hidden away with Winter, because Luke believed the first few years of Jedi child's life is most dangerous for temptations of the dark side while they're still developing. So they did that. Same for Anakin. And there was no issue then. Suddenly now that was a bad thing. My mummy and daddy didn't love me. They just wanted me out of the way, dumped me on some planet with a Charminder. I was like, no, that's not what they did. But yeah, Jason's sacrifice, whenever that is apparently going to be Han and Leia. It's like, what the hell? Seriously, it's just this. Like I've said before, the authors are doing as good a job they can, but Aaron Allison is not the showrunner. I don't know, the legacy verse. That's Troy Denning, so all the decisions clearly come through him. So I look forward to seeing how Troy Denning writes Jason doing these sort of things in his books, because in the previous book Tempest he wrote it, but there wasn't too much of that because he's still deciding what sort of person he wanted to turn into. But yeah, so again, Aaron Allison, great writer. I've read one of his Star Wars books. I think he did a 2-part during the Yuuzhan Vong War. Of course, he's got Wraith Squadron, which is in my list to read, and it's somewhere on the shelf. Yeah, the actual new ones. Yeah, he's on there. As I am there. Oh yes, he wrote Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand. I thought so. They were very hard on their focus. So yeah, good author. I do like him, but he's unfortunately got to write a terrible story. But he's done the best he can. But there are some things I won't forgive. So let's get on to this. Not just Jason, the fact this war is complete garbage and should never have happened. It is Lemma Ra again, the mutilated dark side Twi'lek, who's completely insane and out for revenge, and calls herself we at every opportunity. So basically, it bugs me in Tempest, book 3, that her and Lumia were able to survive against Luke and Mara. With her seeming, she dueled Mara, seemingly had no injuries whatsoever. Just basically did a bomb blast to escape from to create a diversion. I've got Lumia siding because she's meant to be extremely powerful. She has a light whip, which is an extreme challenge point. Luke's using a second, shorter lightsaber, which is quite cool. Anyone's seen the Clone Wars show from 2008 onwards? Spoiler for that. Ahsoka had the same. She had a smaller lightsaber, Shota, which is quite cool. So it's good to see that brought in. Obviously, this was written before Clone Wars came out, but obviously miniature lightsabers existed before that as well. So yeah, obviously Luke has it, but still wasn't able to win, but did badly in job. He shot Lumia 5 times with a blaster, but yeah, she's got these implants, and she's like, I can give that a pass. Couldn't give Elemora a pass then, and I certainly can't now. Basically, by the end of the book, there's a trap sprung on her, like 7 or 8 characters, over half of them being Jedi, and she escapes. Like, you got like Jaina, Zek, Jag Fell, who's back and is now working with Jaina, basically the bounty hunter who wants to bring Elemora in because he figures her is a big part of how his life got ruined, like expelled from his family, etc. And yeah, she escapes. It's complete garbage. Yeah, you got Lando, who basically tries to ambush her. She pretty much managed to make her escape after like stunning him. And then you got like there's Jedi cutting off every opportunity. She keeps finding ways out, and then she gets to a ship and escapes in it because Han didn't think to lock it down or anything. It's just like, come on, this is like, I'm going a spoiler for point. Never thought you'd see this in a Star Wars video, but anyone remembers the cartoon Animals Farthing Wood? It was like hate Series 3. There's a very good like comparison actually. There's 2 ways defending it. So Series 3 of Animals Farthing Wood is where the rats invade and then take over the park and get rid of anyone who stands in their way. In the cartoon, I mean, no real spoilers here, but basically the rats show up at the pond to drink. 3 of the foxes, Ranger, Charm and Whisper, take the chance to ambush them. The snakes planning an attack, but the foxes basically get there first, which kill every one of them except the leader, Bully, who basically they basically say, they know he's the leader, so like, okay, tell your rat friends, get out of here, you're not welcome. He basically says, you killed some of us, so what? More are coming. We're like, what? It's like, that's right, more rats, you can't stop us. So they then decide just to start growling at him to scare him away, because if he's like, it's going to work. And I remember watching that in 2005, 2004, it was even though it's the 1995 show, it was on TV. I remember taping the episodes at 6 a.m. because I don't fancy being up that early, or I think I did with a couple. Basically, there's 2 ways defending that scene. Bully, the leader, can't be killed then because it's episode 5 and he's obviously got to make it through to the finale where he'll just be killed. So you can defend it that way. Or you can be like, well, why did Ranger and the others not just kill him on the spot? This is just dumb writing. If like you want Bully to survive until the ending so he can get a more poetic death then or whatever, okay, don't write it. Basically, using the Austin Powers analogy, don't write him into an easily escapable situation. Austin Powers is a spoof of James Bond where the hero James Bond would be put in a situation where he can easily escape, which is like how Austin Powers escapes multiple situations Dr. Evil puts him in where he just assumes he'll work out. And that's the same sort of thing there. Don't put Bully into a situation where he should be killed just for him to like get away, which doesn't make any sense. And it's the same thing here. Mariah basically gets ambushed by like 7 Jedi. This is at the end, 7 characters. So at the end, she's already made an escape from just 1 character early on. Okay, fair enough. She's capable of doing something that's like slippery. But yeah, no, she gets away. It's like, come on, and just let her. They didn't think to like even lock down like the facility she could escape from. It's just, don't write a character into a situation where she had, because presumably she's going to be dead by the end of this series. I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know what happens after each book as I'm reading them. Thank God. I know the basics, but very minimal. And I sure as hell don't know what happened to her, but presumably she's going to be killed by the end along with Lumia as well, because the bad guys have to die. But don't put her in a position where she should not escape just because you want her to live a bit longer. And yeah, that's one area I will not give the author a free pass on. If you basically told, you've got this Dark Jedi, she can't die yet, she has to survive a little bit longer. Don't put her in a position where she should have no chance of escaping, but does. And stuff like that does bug me. And yeah, Farming Wood comparisons, they basically put Bully in a position where he should be killed, but he doesn't, just so he can like make it to the end of the series. And exactly the same sort of thing here. So really didn't like that. But yeah, that basically it. So when I was reading this, I was enjoying it a lot. There's nothing particularly offensively terrible going on until you get to that ending. It's like, oh, for God's sake, like that's just bad writing, full stop. So yeah, other good things in there. So Lando's back, which is quite cool. He's still happily married, but kind of bored of how like normal his life is and wants some more excitement. When he gets it here, gets Falcon fully restored, goes on adventures with Han and Leia again, which is great to see because they're such a great team. Especially how they started out together. Ben, he's got another great arc. Basically, Jason sends him on this mission to this planet Zeos, which is a Sith homeworld, to recover this artifact. And it's pretty highly implied Ben's job there is to pretty much kill someone to get the amulet, and when it turns out he has a daughter there, let her die to save himself. He doesn't, because he pretends to, but realizes that is wrong, goes back and saves her. Yep, he has to kill a pilot, absolutely in self-defense, just because the pilot's trying to kill him under Lumier's orders, and escapes. And it just reminds me of Darth Maul's dark side training. So in one of the Star Wars books, Darth Maul's training basically involved being like thrown on some alien planet with nothing but like predators, battle droids, everything that could possibly try to kill him, while he's got nothing to defend himself with and expected to survive. And when he does survive, Palpatine Vader still says, you didn't do a good enough job, now I'm going to kill you myself. Tries to kill Palpatine without any like weapons. Palpatine slams him. It's like, congratulations, you completed your training, you're now my apprentice. And it's a similar thing. It's as if Ben's like, expected to like make a horrible choice, and he can't. Ben's morals are too good. He saves a girl and against all odds gets out of that place on a ship that's very Yu Zhang Vong-esque. But yeah, it reminds me of that. So I'm hoping in Book 5 Jason's gonna like see through this, that this is not right, and he doesn't want to turn out to be like Jason after all. I mean, basically his choice was there, sacrifice that little girl to save himself, and he doesn't. So yeah, there is hope after all. Jason, so he sent him on that mission to get away from his parents, but it's clearly to push him harder than he ever had done before. Because he also has to do things like steal or whatever to get where he needs to be, because it's like he's been given like fake data cards with credits, all sorts. So yeah, that's good stuff, but I just hate the ending. Like, you have Elamar escape from like 7 people. I mean, you got great things. Zek and Jaina are a good team. It now seems Zek's dreams of romance are gone, and he just seems like a lot more like in control and flirting with other women a bit more. And again, I do like this is a bit more adult, these books as well, because clearly if you've read Jaina and Jason and Anakin as like children, obviously that book came out 1991, and then this is like 2006 or 7. So yeah, if you read the first book when like they're born at the end of it, like the Heir to the Empire trilogy, as I don't know, as a 5-year-old, you'd be an adult by this. So yeah, it's a good book series. Good book overall, but I just hate the ending. It just pulls it down from what would have been a 5 out of 5 on a Goodreads score to a 4. But yeah, hopefully it will get better next time.